Hello, friends. My mind was never quiet, not even in sleep. Every moment felt like carrying invisible weight. Until the day I met the man who taught me how to let go. Aarav sat alone on the park bench, starting at the still pond ahead of him. The city buzzed behind him, car horns, voices, construction. But his mind was louder. Thoughts clashed like waves in a storm. Regrets, fears, unspoken words, failures, imaginary arguments, and what ifs. His phone buzzed for the third time that hour. He didn't check it. For the first time in weeks, he had left his office early, not to rest, but to escape. He had everything: a high paying job, a luxury car, a stylish apartment, and yet he felt empty. No, not empty. He felt full, too full, full of stress, expectations, memories, guilt, jealousy, anger, too full to feel peace. That's when he saw the old man, wearing plain clothes, holding nothing but a cup of tea. The man walked slowly to the pond's edge and sat cross legged on the grass. He closed his eyes and just breathed. No phone, no tension, no rush. Ara watched him for minutes. Something about the man was silent but powerful. He couldn't explain it. Finally, Arav stood and walked over. "Excuse me," he said. "Can I ask you something?" The old man opened one eye and smiled gently. "Of course." "How? How are you so calm? You are just sitting here, doing nothing, and you look more peaceful than I have felt in years." The old man nodded. "Because I emptied my mind." Arav blinked. "What does that mean?" The man patted the grass beside him. "Sit down, and I'll tell you a story." The man's voice was like a soft wind, gentle, steady. There was once a young warrior who came to a wise monk in search of enlightenment. The warrior had read every book, listened to every teacher, and mastered every skill. But still he was restless, angry, lost. "Master," he said, "teach me peace." The monk served him tea. As he poured, the cup filled, then overflowed. Tea spilled onto the table and the warrior's robe. "Stop!" the warrior cried. "The cup is full." The monk smiled. "Exactly. Like your mind. It is too full for peace to enter." To learn peace, the warrior had to first empty himself of pride, of pain, of the need to be right. Arav stared at the pond, the story echoing in his heart. He said quietly, "I think my cup's been overflowing for years." Arav sat cross legged beside the old man. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The sound of birds chirping and the wind rustling the trees felt louder now, as if the world had turned down the volume on his worries just a little. "What's your name?" Arav asked. "People call me Baba," the man replied. "I used to be teacher, now I am a student." Arav gave a weak smile. "Of what?" "Of silence," Baba said, "and freedom." Arav sighed. "I don't know where to begin. My mind's too heavy." Baba looked at him calmly. "Then let's begin there. Tell me, what's in your mind, one by one." Arav hesitated, then spoke quietly. "Guilt. I let my father die without saying goodbye. He was in the hospital, and I was too busy with a business meeting." Baba nodded. "Anger," Arav continued, "at my brother. We haven't spoken in 3 years. I told myself I didn't need him, but I do." "Good," Baba whispered. "Go on." "Anyway," Arav said, "I see others with happy families and peace. I wonder what's wrong with me." "Pain," Baba said. "You carry it like stones in a bag you never set down." Tears welled in Arav's eyes. I feel like a failure. Baba, outside I look successful. Inside I am exhausted. Baba gently placed his hand on Arav's shoulder. That's the beginning. Awareness. Most people never look inside. You just did. That night, Arav couldn't sleep. His apartment, once a symbol of success, now felt like a cage. The walls whispered with memories, missed birthdays, lost friendships, ignored calls. His own reflection looked tired, older than he remembered. The next morning, he returned to the park. Baba was there again, feeding birds with pieces of dry roti. I thought about what you said, Araf told him. And Baba asked, smiling, I think I've been carrying pain for so long. I don't know who I am without it. Baba handed him a small empty backpack. Put some stones in this, he said. Arab looked confused, but obeyed. He filled it with heavy rocks from the pond's edge. Now wear it, Baba said. Arab slung the backpack over his shoulder. It was unbearably heavy. Walk, Baba instructed. He walked. His back ached. His breath shortened. After 10 steps, he dropped the bag. I can't, he gasped. Baba smiled. That's what your mind is doing every day. Over the next few days, Arav returned to the park every morning. Baba never pushed him, never advised unless asked. He simply listened, and slowly Arav began to speak of childhood wounds, betrayals, heartbreaks, and secret fears. One day, Baba asked, what are you afraid will happen if you truly let go? Arav hesitated, that I'll be nothing. Baba shook his head. No, you will finally be you. That day, Baba gave him a small task. Write down everything he was holding on to on slips of paper, one by one. Arav wrote shame, regret, comparison, pride, fear, pain, ego. Then Baba lit a clay lamp and gestured toward a small fire pit nearby. Burn them. The pain had lived in him because he kept feeding it. Now he was learning to stop. One morning, Baba was not in the park, nor the next day. Arav waited, wondering if he would ever return, but something had changed. He didn't panic. Instead, he sat where Baba once did, closed his eyes, and listened to his breath. And in that silence, he understood. Peace isn't something you find, it's something that rises when you remove the noise. Like the sun hidden behind clouds, it had always been there. Months later, Ara visited his mother after years of silence. She opened the door, eyes wide, shocked to see him. But when he fell to his knees and wept in her arms, neither of them needed words. Next, he called his brother. It was awkward, but it was not too late. They met, argued, cried, laughed. He began apologizing to those he hurt, even if they didn't respond. He quit the job that drained him and started volunteering at a community center. His life became slower, simpler, and far more meaningful. One morning, while sitting by the pond, Arav heard a familiar laugh. Baba, you disappeared, Arav said, smiling. I didn't, Baba replied. I just stepped back to see if you could walk alone. Arav chuckled. You were right. I had to empty my mind before I could fill my soul. Baba looked at him with pride. So, tell me, Arav, what's in your mind now? Arav closed his eyes and smiled. Nothing, just peace. The final pages of the novel reflect Arav's complete transformation. He no longer defines himself by money, status, or past pain. He learns to respond instead of react, forgive instead of control, observe instead of overthink. He teaches meditation to others, not as a guru, but as a fellow traveler. He helps young people talk through their pain, not fix it, but face it. And whenever people ask him what changed his life, he simply says, I stopped trying to be more and started letting go. Peace isn't found in the mind that's full, it's found in the heart that's free. So, audience, I have some questions for you. So, answer me. What emotions do you carry silently, like Aarav did? What thoughts keep repeating in your mind that might be weighing you down? Do you agree with Baba's idea that peace isn't found by gaining more but by letting go? Why or why not? Have you ever been afraid of slowing down or being alone with your thoughts? What do you think you would find in that silence? Is there someone in your life you need to forgive or ask forgiveness from, like Arav did with his brother and mother? What does emptying your mind mean to you personally? Is it about meditation, forgiveness, detachment, or something else? Which part of Arav's transformation inspired you the most? What lesson are you taking with you after reading his journey? If you had to write three things on a slip of paper and burn them today, like Arav did, what would they be? Shame, fear, ego, or past memory, a toxic belief? Do you think silence can teach more than words? Why is inner stillness so difficult in the modern world?